Okay, we finally reached staging, which is the last part in the pipeline. Alright, so first off, I'll teach you how to basically assemble all your models into the stage. So first, you click anywhere in the grid and you'll see a plus button. If you click that, you'll be able to add a model from the database. So I recommend that you always put in a land disk if you're going to make some type of environment. This just makes things easier to control later on, which I'll get into later. So once you add that, now I'll go into detail about those 3 tools I mentioned in the rigging briefly, which is moving, rotating, and scaling. So if you click on any of the buttons at the bottom, you'll be able to control the model differently. You'll be able to move it, you'll be able to rotate it, and scale it. Now, here's an important thing though. You don't have to click these buttons in the program. There are actually shortcuts on your keyboard. So, W is moving, E is rotating, and R is scaling. So once you get used to clicking those buttons on your keyboard, you'll never even have to touch it in the program. It is much easier and it becomes second nature almost as you go along. So be sure to get used to that because that makes things quicker. Okay, so when you're selecting your objects, make sure you select them by their name tag. It just makes things easy to keep track of. And when you do, there'll be 3 options. 2 of them will be duplicate and delete, which is self-explanatory. But what I want to get into is adding an object within that set of options. So when you add an object by clicking from the grid, you'll be able to control those objects separately, as you can see with the land disk and the model I just added in. However, if you select an object and click the add icon and add an object from there, you'll be able to control both of them if you select the source object. This is extremely important when you're going to make environments, and that is why I suggested using the land disk, because you'll be able to place everything on top and then move, rotate, scale, everything in one go. That's just a little trick that you should know. Okay, now that you know all the basics of adding in objects, start adding in all the assets that we made together from the modeling. So that's the house, that's the human, and the creature, and put together a scene for what we're going to animate. You're also able to set the lighting if you want by selecting the sun icon and selecting one of the presets down there, and even changing the angle of the light. And you're also able to select a background by clicking the hillscape icon and selecting one of the nice ones we've already got for you. You can also toggle on and off the grid as well as the labels by pressing the matching icons up the top there as well.